Hi and welcome back. So we've been talking about effectively branding yourself, and first thing we talked about is the target. Who is your target? What is your cause? We made reference to Toyota and Lexus, to Apple. Now, it's very important at this point we now discuss what are the attributes of your desired definition. I'm sure by now you've given some thought to how you want to define yourself. But what are the attributes of this definition in terms of behavior and particularly in terms of language? I remember a few months ago, I traveled to a French-speaking country, and when I got there, because I don't speak French, I was limited. At that point in time, it had nothing to do with how intelligent I was. It had nothing to do with any other thing but the simple fact that I could not speak the language. And so that put me at the mercy of whoever could speak the language. In the same way, I'd like to ask you today, you've given a definition to how you want your life to be. You've talked about how you want people to remember you. The brand David, the brand Paul, the brand Susan, the brand Gladys. You've thought of all that. But what is the language of your destination? A lot of people are speaking the language of their past and not the language of their destination. Now this is interesting because some people are speaking the language of your past. It could be the language of your success or the language of your failure. I see many people keep talking about the great things they have done in the past. They keep talking about all the mighty things they've done, how great sales they made, how great last year was. But the truth is, you cannot move into your future speaking the language of your past. What is the language of your future? Maybe you want to be a CEO of your company or whatever, and you are speaking the language of a manager. It doesn't work that way. So you need to ask yourself, take an audit of yourself today. Ask yourself, what aspect of my past success dominates my conversation? That's very important. Some people, the language of the past that they're speaking is the language of their failure. They allowed that failure to rob them of their identity and confidence. So when they see people, they're always talking about using their failure to excuse where they are. But the truth is this: failure, you become a failure only when you stop trying. And I was thinking about this the other day. Success, any success you have today is a stepping stone to greater success. Any failure you have experienced is a stepping stone to success. So in essence, failure and success are not opposite sides of a coin. Everything is determined by your perception. You are not a victim of the events that happen in your life. You are a victim of your interpretation of the events that happen in your life. So stop giving the failures of yesterday the power to influence tomorrow by talking about them. You have to speak the language of your destination. Is the balance of your mind more tilted in favor of your past than in favor of your future? Is your imagination weaker than your memory? Or let me put it this way, is your memory more active than your imagination? You can correct these errors today by giving your mind some new information to work on. Do a very simple performance management exercise on yourself where you can measure your performance not with people's expectation of you, but with your potential and with your vision. Some people are speaking the language of their hurt. Some people, I've met people who have gone through some hurt. I met a lady who had gone through a bitter divorce. And there's so many people I've met actually like that who've gone through a divorce or painful. And they immediately block out the concept of marriage. All right? And this is so important that you do not speak the language of your hurt. Because if you keep speaking it, you can't overcome it. I heard some ladies, my wife had gone for an event, and heard some ladies speaking, giving advice to a young lady who was about to get married. And the advice was, all men are dogs, and those who have not yet become full dogs will soon grow up. Now, what kind of advice is that? All those ladies now found out had bitter experiences. So they were speaking the language of their hurt, and they were transferring it to this young lady who was just getting married. So we need to be careful. Don't speak the language of your hurt. Don't speak the general language of your society. You need to be different to make a difference. If you're speaking the same thing as everyone else, then you are part of the masses. Don't enlist in the army of the masses by speaking like them. So everybody's complaining, oh, prices have gone up. Your position should be, no matter how high prices go, I will be one of those people that will prosper and live the life of my dreams. Incidentally, the greatest fortunes were made in times of greatest economic crisis. So don't speak the language of the masses. No one ever wins an election by complaining. They win by offering solutions. The masses complain. The leaders offer solutions. Masses always expect someone else to fix the problem. Leaders always find ways to ease the problem at whatever level they are. And so, today, as we wrap up, it's very, very important. What is the language of your destination? Begin to speak that language, not the language of your origin, not the language of where you're coming from. This is a very powerful tool for branding yourself for where you want to be.